Welcome back to Dippy Does It All, the only show where curiosity meets chaos and common sense is optional. Today, I'm joined by a very special guest. Grab your whiskey, hide your Hot Wheels, and prepare to be serenaded with song lyrics from your past. He's the only guy I know who can diagnose your medical issue and quote Bon Jovi in the same breath. A former over-the-road trucker turned nurse? Yes, that's a real pipeline. And no, we're not making it up. Give it up to the man who thinks HR appropriate is just a suggestion, Dennis!
Yes, thank you very much. And HR appropriate is only a suggestion.
I love that because my mom's an HR lady.
Oh, that's great.
It's so great. Hence why she doesn't like that word, I think.
I still think she was going to say what WTF on that last episode.
She might have.
She was on the edge.
You know, in all fairness to her, she did have 2 of the pecan old fashions. Which, if you want one, I can make one too.
That'll definitely draw an F word out of you.
He's got stories from the highway, punchlines that'll get us canceled, and a deep commitment to proving that you can talk about weird laws like it's the Constitution. Dennis, welcome to the madness, and please try not to get us sued.
Thank you for having me, and I'll do my best.
Together, we're diving deep into the weirdest, wackiest, and most did someone really pass this laws from around the world. Like, did you know it's illegal to walk a moose down the street in Alaska while wearing flip-flops? Neither did we, but now we're terrified of breaking the law on accident. Again. So buckle up, obey absolutely none of the logic, and prepare to be mildly educated and wildly entertained. It's Dippy Does It All, where the laws are strange and the laughs are mandatory.
That's awesome.
Well, Dennis and I did a little research for you. So we are excited to talk about some of the weird laws that existed in our 50 states and around the world. So let's start with Alabama, Dennis.
Let's do it. Alabama.
Do you know in Alabama you can't drive while blindfolded?
I did not know that. But I did learn that it's illegal to wear a fake mustache in church if you plan to make people laugh with it.
I would have been in jail so many times in college.
Yeah.
I constantly was wearing fake mustaches places. I had a thing with it. I'm not sure exactly why, but I did. I wonder why they put that.
I have no idea. I tried to look it up, and I couldn't find anything about like why the law was created, but somebody thought that was an important thing to put forward.
The same with driving while blindfolded. Why would you try?
Yeah.
That's what I don't get.
Maybe
someone did it, similar to like why they have signs that say don't go in the pool when you have diarrhea.
Yeah, because
there must have been an incident.
Yeah, somebody was like, wonder what it'd be like to be blind.
Yeah.
And they're like, put on a blindfold and went driving, and that was their excuse. And the cops were like, we need to make this a law. Same
with the person that said, I'm sick with diarrhea, but I feel like going swimming. That'll make me feel better.
Just hop in the pool and go.
Yeah, what the heck? Alabama, you're strange.
Yeah, well, we kind of all knew that.
So the next law that I discovered is the reason why I think you and I should not go to North Carolina. It's illegal to sing off-key.
Oh, God, I'd be screwed.
I know. Karaoke would be a legal risk for us.
It'd be life in prison. I'd be done. I'd be a felon. I'd have to register.
Yeah.
I'd probably be on multiple registry lists by then. Because I would hit multiple off keys. I would not hit a single key, so I'd have multiple charges.
Especially if Crash Test Dummies came on.
Oh,
we'd be in trouble.
We'd be in big trouble. That or Big Timers.
I wish we would have had that on video when you and I started singing.
I'm very happy we don't.
Well, when we started singing Crash Test Dummies, I wish we would have had a camera just on Julia. Because her face, she was like, what? What did they have on them? It was so good.
The only good thing about that, I guess it's the bad thing, but kind of good thing, I forgot it wasn't just ER people there. Oh. So I realized the next day I just did that in front of half the frickin' hospital. My folks, they kind of know me. Yeah. The rest, I'm like, oh no.
Well, it's fine. It's fine.
No, I know it is, but it's just funny. It was like,
Well, I had no idea you knew Dune Buggy.
Who doesn't know Dune Buggy? Who doesn't know Presidents of the United States of America?
I had 2 of those CDs because the first one I used so much it got scratched. Because, back in that day, the skip Discman
Yeah.
BS would scratch your discs up,
Yep.
And so I had to have 2 of them because I just loved that thing. And it drives Jackie crazy. If I really want to get under his skin, I'll play Kitty. It's just so
Song.
good. Meow, 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 meow. Yeah. Meow. Okay, we're off kilter. Okay. North Carolina, did you find anything else about North Carolina or just that one?
That was from Alabama and Alaska. I don't think I have anything on North Carolina.
Okay, well, we better not go there because we'll definitely be in trouble.
Yeah.
Indiana, you can't catch a fish with your bare hands. Is that something easy to even do?
I don't think so. I mean, I remember as a child trying, like seeing sunfish when you're in the beach. I couldn't do it.
I'm not sure we need a law for that.
Yeah,
There must have been some issue.
somebody was good at it, apparently, and we're getting too many fish, and somebody got mad. So, they made a law.
Arizona, it's illegal for a donkey to sleep in the bathtub. Another thing, would you even be able to get your donkey in the bathtub?
I mean, unless if it's willingly stepping in there, how are you going to lift it? That's like 1,000 pounds.
And why is it even going to want to go in there?
And why do you want it to go in there?
Yeah.
You got to be that's kind of a
There's some weird things happening.
It's kind of a creepy thing. Like,
Yeah.
why don't you lay in my bathtub, donkey?
Come on, donkey.
I just picture Shrek looking at donkey. Get in the tub.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
In Oregon, there's a couple laws I've actually experienced in person. One of them, because I went in college, you weren't allowed at the time to bag your own groceries or pump your own gas because they were trying to create jobs. But that was really bizarre, thinking, oh man, if I put this one thing in the bag, I could be ruining people's livelihood here, But I learned through this research that you also cannot go hunting in a cemetery.
The hunting in a cemetery is weird because, first off, who wants to do it? But secondly, if there was an overpopulation of an animal, you'd think you'd give a permit to help with that.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to go visit their passed on grandma and a deer just hooks you in the head.
Yeah.
Like,
it didn't say, but I'm wondering if it was intended to be like ghost hunting.
oh, well,
It doesn't say, but I don't know what kind of hunting was happening.
I don't know. But if you can't ghost hunt in a cemetery, do not drive in there with a Tesla. Have you seen that?
No, what?
This is kind of off topic, but their guidance detection system, if you drive it into a cemetery, picks up humans and there's nobody there.
No way.
Swear to God, you got to look that up. That's something you got to check out. There's tons of videos out there of people doing it.
We got to have Dave take us to a cemetery.
Let's do it. Come on, Dave.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Dave, we need your car.
Yeah.
I think he's listening, so he'll take us. Our neighbor, Wisconsin, it says you can't serve apple pie without cheese. What the?
I've never had cheese on apple pie, but I'm not opposed to it. But I don't know if I would be willing to make that a law.
Yeah.
Without vanilla ice cream, possibly. I could see that law. But cheese. Now, grits, I could pass a lot of. You have to have cheese on grits.
Oh, you
that
absolutely
should be a law. Yeah.
And little bits of jalapeno.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yum.
Mm-hmm. California, it's illegal to whistle for a lost canary before 7 a.m. So if you lose your canary,
you gotta wait till 7:01.
Yep, better hope it's after 7.
Also in California, it's illegal to eat a frog if it dies during a frog jumping competition. So the winner, free game. Yeah. But if it dies halfway through, can't do it. Off the menu. Can't have it. That
was my prized frog.
Yeah.
And I can't eat him.
It's illegal.
Shoot. I don't understand how that's even a thing.
People in California are weird, Sean. Little shout out there.
I love it.
He'll like it.
In Texas, you can't sell your own eyeballs. I laughed when I saw this because it reminded me of something. And I don't want to talk about it too much in previous episodes or future episodes of the podcast, but I do want to tell it here because I think people will get a kick out of it. We had a doctor a long time ago that was 4'5". Maybe she's 4'8". I don't know. She's a little gal. And someone had come in because they had an infection in their artificial eye socket.
Ooh.
And when she looked at it, she removed the eyeball, or the fake eye. And another patient had to be transferred immediately with the helicopter, and she went to go help with that. And then when she went back to the other person, she couldn't find the eyeball. The fake eye was missing.
Oh, no.
We had to call and say, yeah, to the crew, did you happen to find a fake eye anywhere on that other person? And they could not find it. So we lost an eyeball.
It's probably in her coat pocket. Like her little white coat.
No, she took everything apart. It was ripped apart. It probably got put on the bed of the other person.
Yeah.
And went there and then went in the laundry, probably.
Oh, my goodness.
Can you imagine the laundry person that finds the eyeball?
Screaming.
Well, listen, Brenda, you can't sell it in Texas. So
Yeah.
I think that one was a pretty funny story from back in the day.
That's crazy.
And the statute of limitations has for sure run out.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was decades ago.
I can't lie, though. When you started saying the height, I started thinking of a different doctor.
Oh, yeah, no. It wasn't that one. It wasn't that one. You would have liked this one.
Yeah.
You would have liked her a lot. In Vermont, women must get written permission from their husbands to wear false teeth.
I mean, everybody enjoys a gummy smile, but...
Well, you know what this reminds me of? Do you remember the SNL skit about cork soaking at the winery? Do you remember this one?
Yes, I do.
And the one character was like, ever since I lost my teeth, they say I never soak the cork better.
Maybe that's why they need permission. The husband's like, I don't want no teeth in there.
I think, that's what I was thinking when I read this. And I'm also thinking we might need to put explicit on this episode.
We might need to, yeah. It might end up there.
Be like, oh no, we've talked about cork soaking and lost eyeballs. I think we've derailed.
I'll be honest, when you invited me over, I told my wife, I was like, I'm a little nervous because what if it just put like parental, what do they call it?
Warning.
Yeah, like something like,
It'll be all right.
Yeah.
Even if it's just one episode.
Yeah.
We're talking about weird laws. That's what's happening.
Weirdness happens.
Exactly. Jumping to Minnesota, there's a lot of weird ones we have. And I think you found some as well. But back in the day, they had a law that made it illegal to sleep naked.
That's... What?
Yep, you could not sleep in the nude.
That's so bizarre. Especially since there's a bunch of Norwegians who are... You can't sleep nude, but you can go sit in a hot tube or box heated by rocks in a sauna, as they like to pronounce it, and sit naked and then run out and jump in the snow or the lake, but you can't sleep nude. If you're in the sauna with a bunch of people, that's fine. Just you in your bed? Nuh-uh.
Well, I want to know who's enforcing that law. Like, who knows?
Do we have creepy people sneaking into our rooms at night? And we don't know it? They're just like lifting up the sheets. We're good.
This one's in the clear.
Yeah. It's all right, Phil. Let's go. Next house. If so,
I don't know.
I apologize to you, Phil, because I'm going to do that on purpose tonight.
Oh my gosh. Call me if you need to be bailed out.
Yeah. Hey, I need... Could you possibly run some bail over? No, I wasn't drunk driving. No, I didn't hurt anybody. No, I was naked in my bed. The weirdest can I get some bail call ever.
Yeah, for sure. You also can't cross state lines with a duck on your head.
Oh, okay. How about a gray goose? Duck, duck, gray goose.
Yeah.
Duck, duck, goose.
I have no idea what the heck's going on here.
That's
weird.
Weird.
What happened that created this is really what I'm questioning.
There are weird laws, and there are some things that make sense with why they were created, because the one with the ice cream cone in the back pocket.
Yeah.
That one was what was that? That was in Georgia, I think, right?
I think it's Georgia.
Yeah, we're kind of jumping around here, but Georgia had a law where you can't walk
Oh, Alabama.
Alabama, with an ice cream cone in your back pocket on a Sunday. And then I was like, what in the hell?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out the reason why is horse thieves on Sundays would undo horses' reins and then walk with the ice cream cone. The horses wanting the sweet treat would follow.
Yeah.
And technically, they didn't steal the horse.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So there was a weird reason why, but I can't think of a reason for the duck.
Me either.
That's a hard one. Like, I know that sometimes you make a weird law to counteract somebody else's loophole, but a duck? Like, that's kind of weird.
So if you're planning a trip with your mallard hat, better think again.
Well, does it specify living or fake? I mean,
it doesn't. It doesn't. Just says with a duck on your head.
They could get you then.
Those Jeep owners better be careful because it doesn't say anything about rubber duck either.
They could be like, well, it's on your dash. That's the reason we pulled you over.
It's illegal in Minnesota also to tease skunks. Why would anyone even try?
Yeah, I don't think that needs to be a law. I think they kind of have a natural ability to stop people from teasing you.
Exactly.
You stinky little thing.
That is a crazy one.
How do you tease a skunk? You smell bad. I know. Nobody likes you. I know. The skunk literally is like, whatever you say isn't going to hurt me. I have to smell myself 24/7.
Yeah. In Blue Earth, Minnesota, you can't ice skate on the sidewalks. Interesting.
Well, tell them to take better care of them and we won't need to.
Yeah. And in some old town ordinances, it still exists where you can't have hamburgers on Sundays. If I lived there, I'd be like, City Council, reverse this. Because
what is
hamburgers whenever I want.
And what is the purpose behind that? Like, what is God anti-hamburger? I don't think so, because that is a gift from God himself. So
I am not sure.
That's a weird one.
Obviously, a lot of people know about me, but I'm a big fan of Boston, so I looked up some Boston laws.
Nice.
In Boston, duels can be carried out to death on Sundays as long as the mayor is there.
Still to this day?
Yeah.
That's dope. That's like the manliest thing I've ever heard in my life. I love that.
And it's illegal to take a lion to the movies. This is another thing that I want to know what happened.
I picture somebody along the lines of Whitey Bulger decided he wanted to take his lion, and they knew they couldn't do anything to him, so they made a law that said, you can't bring lions.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Whitey. It's a law.
Yep. And you can't put gorillas in the back seat of your car. So something else happened here. Probably Bulger.
Did Mike Tyson ever live in the Boston area? Like, that sounds like you're dealing with somebody you don't want to deal with type laws. Like, we got to make a law because we're not telling them we can't do it.
Yep. Well, and this one's no longer active, but way, way back, they had a law that actually contradicted another law. So it was illegal to take a bath unless your doctor gave you a prescription, but it was also illegal not to bathe before going to bed. It was a whole thing. You had to get a doc script, but you had to do it before you went to sleep.
I cannot even imagine going to Dr. Olson and be like, hey, doc, can I get a prescription so I can bathe, please?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can kind of tell I need to and just give a little waft of air.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, yeah, let me print that right up. And I can't go to your doctor for a prescription to bathe.
A whole thing.
But then if you don't, you can get arrested. So were they just trying to drum up healthcare business? Like,
must have been.
Is that where United Healthcare started?
Maybe. Roosters may not go into bakeries. They have that law too. A lot of weird animal things happening in Massachusetts. And then this one's no longer active either, but goatees were illegal unless you obtained and paid for a license to wear it in public.
That is messed up. That also goes along with one that I found in, Iowa. God bless you, Iowa. Spencer, this is for you. It is illegal for a man with a mustache to kiss a woman in public.
Really?
Yeah. Any type of facial hair, no matter how it's groomed, if it's considered a mustache, handlebar, mutton chops, if it's considered a mustache, it is illegal for them to kiss a woman in public.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is no good.
It's also illegal to kiss for more than 5 minutes.
Huh.
In public. So if you're having a good makeout sesh, you better set your timer, 4:59, take a breath, go back at it.
There must have been an incident.
Yeah, it must have involved a mustached man or possibly woman. Who knows? It's Iowa.
I love it. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Florida. Everybody knows Florida, man.
Yeah, Florida's crazy.
Florida does weird
I lived there for
stuff.
a few years.
I love it so much. We love going to Florida. You can't sing in a swimsuit in Florida. Another place we'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
No poolside karaoke.
It's a good thing I can't sing anyways, so I don't think I'm in any danger in Florida. But yeah, I could see that.
They also at one time thought it was necessary to have a law that unmarried women couldn't skydive on Sundays. All the other days of the week, fine. But Sundays, nope.
Do you think that goes back to like men praying? I just wish a woman would fall into my life. And then
Maybe.
There they are.
Maybe.
That's the only thing I can think of. Please, God, give me a 5'2" blonde, D to double D, skydiving woman right there. We got to stop this. This is becoming an epidemic.
Let's hope her chute was activated.
Yeah. Otherwise, it'd be like, oh, I love you.
Yeah.
Just nothing after that.
Well, double D's to A's.
Flat as a pancake.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. You can't sell your children in Florida, but this doesn't seem like something that needed to be a law.
Well, at least not after the Civil War.
Yeah.
Before that.
It reminds me of one Thanksgiving when we were all sitting there enjoying a nice meal, and my Uncle Harry just randomly said, "It's terrible about those kids in Colorado." And we're like, what? And they had done a safe haven law, but they forgot to put an age. And people are dumping their 14-year-olds off at the fire halls.
Oh my God. That's horrendous.
They had to like quickly amend the law and say, okay, wait, you can't just dump any kid. There's a limit.
I would say keep it open because I don't want that poor 14-year-old living with somebody who doesn't want him.
Well, that's
But
true.
dang, sorry, Billy, you're out.
So I wonder if something came from that, maybe,
Maybe. I mean, it's got to be hard to fit the 14-year-old in that little chute that they give you.
Yep.
Those safe haven chutes where you like pull it out and you put the baby in there. You got to cram that kid in there.
This one really fascinated me why this exists. Parking an elephant at a parking meter, you have to pay the same fee as a car.
That one, I found that one too, and that amazed me.
Who's parking their elephants?
Yeah, well, and on top of that, what happens if you don't? Who's going to tow it?
Yeah, true.
How do you get it out of there? Like,
True.
just poor elephant sitting there with a bunch of tickets stuck to its trunk?
I have no idea what the heck. How do you even get close to it? I don't think I'd walk up to a random elephant.
Definitely not. No way.
Well, first off, I'd be worried Ace Ventura was maybe inside, but...
Yeah. I'd have to at least go buy a bag of peanuts and approach cautiously. But even then, I don't...
Yeah. Craziness. It's also illegal to fart in public place after 6 p.m. on Thursdays.
Weekends for good times, not for stinky
But
times.
I don't know how you would enforce that. That seems like an unenforceable law.
Yeah.
Otherwise, take a lot of gas X and hold it until Friday.
Yeah.
I don't...
Well, after Thursday. So does that mean it's the whole weekend? Is it a weekend-long law?
On Thursdays, it says.
Oh, on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Okay, so only Thursdays.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who had something to do on Thursdays that really did not like gaseous emissions?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you've heard this story about the gas X, but they had a sale on it, or they were getting rid of it at Target or whatever, and it was on clearance. Mm-hmm. And I saw it, and I was like, Jackie, we just got to buy the rest of this. It's only 50 cents a box. And we just hoarded up on what they had left. And then 6 months later, we go to Target, and she was looking for some eye drop or something, and she goes up to the pharmacy window and says, yeah, I'm looking for whatever eye drop. And the guy looks up at the two of us and goes, oh, you're the Gas X ladies. And I was like, oh, shit. How are we known as the Gas X ladies? This is terrible.
Oh, when you buy a lifetime's worth of gas X at one time, you might leave an impression. I'm
They
just
were
saying.
50 cents.
I mean, yes, a good bargain, but
Yeah.
you traded some dignity for that savings.
I think we still have the ones that have the sale stickers on them too. But you know what? I've been showing these to people my whole life. They're wonder. If you've got any problem with gas paying, pick up some gas.
Oh yeah, but
Not a sponsor, but we'll take it.
imagine that cashier. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Yeah.
God, how many beans do you guys eat? Bloop, 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 bloop. Just scanning.
Exactly. Oh, the Gas X ladies. That's so great. Oh, they had one for a little while that you couldn't shower naked. That has to be outdoor showers, but
that's
they
gotta
just
be.
didn't say.
Yeah,
you
they
know?
didn't specify. They
Yeah.
didn't break it down to that point. But I could see that in Florida because the people in Florida are weird, and those public beaches, there are definitely people who'd be like, screw it.
Oh, this actually makes sense why they have this law. Doors must open outward in public buildings, and it's to prevent panicked alligator stampedes. I'm going to pay attention next time I go, because I don't think I thought about that before.
Are the alligators panicked? Panicked alligator stampedes. So there's a horde of panicked alligators?
Must?
Or the people are afraid of alligators?
I don't know. But the alligators wouldn't be able to get into the buildings.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't.
When we go down for spring training, I'm going to have to take a look. Do
That
the
actually
doors open out or in?
Does make sense because they can go up and slap themselves on and push a door open.
Yeah.
Huh.
But that's why they have that.
I just sometimes the wording of laws makes me giggle to prevent panicked because I picture an alligator
Yeah.
freaking out and running. Like that's where my brain goes because
Yeah.
it's demented. So
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, there's just a whole stampede of panicked alligators.
just hauling butt.
Oh, it's so good. So good. Do you have any more from the States that you were looking up?
Let me look here. In Colorado, it's illegal to have a couch on your front porch.
Really?
They really do not want to look like Alabama. So, yeah. That's a weird one. I mean, I have seen couches on front porches before. And then it makes you wonder, how far do they break that down? Are we talking like lawn furniture couch? Or specifically, you can't have the lazy boy out there.
Yeah.
Like, it's got... Interesting. It was a weird one for me.
For sure.
In Iowa, it used to be, it's since been repealed, illegal for a one-armed person to charge for a piano performance. Yep.
Well, what the?
Yeah. I mean, technically, that you really are getting half the show. So, at least they shouldn't be able to charge full price. But that has since been repealed. But at one point, that was a law there.
Once again, I go back to what happened for them to do that.
There was somebody playing chopsticks with one finger. Ding, 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 ding. And charging full price, and somebody got mad.
That has
Made
to
a
be.
law. Yeah.
Has to be.
Yep.
Ding, 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 ding. I love that. Oh, Lord.
We talked about the Iowa kissing thing. There's a lot of weird laws in Iowa. Iowa's a weird state. In Georgia, if you're injured while riding a llama, you have no legal recourse because it's considered an innately dangerous event. So any injury by a llama, if you come in contact with them, you have very little legal recourse. You're paying that hospital bill on your own.
Noted.
I literally looked that up this morning, and it was on a actual attorney's website, and it said, yeah, it's a fact.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so llama owners can just let their llamas do whatever they want. They can run amok, and they have nothing to worry about.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep. In 1961, the city of Gainesville in Georgia passed a law that made it illegal to eat fried chicken with a fork.
Uh-oh. I'd be screwed. I have an overbite, and I have to use a fork to get the last bit off.
In 2009, they actually charged an 82-year-old woman with it as part of a prank. The prosecutor obviously instantly dismissed it, but it was like a big elaborate joke for everybody because they were like, this law is stupid.
Yeah.
But they thought, well, in order to prove it's stupid, let's do it this way. So they charged an 82-year-old woman with eating fried chicken with a fork.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I wonder where these weird laws come from. Like, what kind of mind thinks of like, well, I don't like people do that. Let's make that a law. Like, I just never understood that.
I really don't know why you would even need that unless there was a silverware shortage or something. But
yeah.
What?
But even that, why only fried chicken then? Why not anything?
True.
Yeah.
Washington State, it's illegal to hunt or capture a Sasquatch. An actual law, and it's still active.
Makes you wonder if the state knows that they actually exist.
I'm thinking they maybe know things we don't know.
They might. They might.
Yep. California, it's illegal to eat a banana in a bathtub, and that's actually still active.
That can't be true for San Francisco.
Dennis! Oh, that is a good one. Oh, in Georgia, another Georgia one. It's illegal to tie a giraffe to a telephone pole. Who has a giraffe in Georgia anyway?
Who's tall enough to tie it to it?
Yeah, my God. California, also again, it's illegal to have more than one ketchup packet in McDonald's. It's illegal to have more than one because they were trying to stop waste of resources. They're trying to help regulate the distribution of ketchup.
This is why California's weird. This is why Sean moved here. He's a 3 ketchup packet kind of guy.
Oh my gosh. These are just bizarre.
Yeah.
Well, we've got some crazy world laws coming, but why don't we take a break from our sponsor? Today's episode of Dippy Does It All is brought to you by Legal Eagle Light, the only law firm staffed entirely by pigeons in powdered wigs. Have you ever accidentally whistled underwater in Vermont and worried the police might be lurking in the deep end? Or feared jail time for tying your giraffe to a telephone pole in Georgia? Don't panic. Legal Eagle Light specializes in defending citizens from the weirdest, most definitely real, but maybe not laws in America. Sign up today and get a free I Plead the Fifth Amendment. Legal Eagle Light, because the law makes no sense, and neither do we.
I love that.
That's a
great.
good one.
That's a good one.
It's a real good sponsor. Okay, around the world. There's a lot of weird stuff around the world.
Oh, I can only imagine.
No high heels in Greece. At it's more important near the archaeologic sites. They're worried about it damaging ancient monuments. So that makes sense, but also, what if someone's just wearing their favorite stilettos?
Yeah.
What are they supposed to do? All I was thinking when I read this one, though, is it's good that Holly hurt her leg because she used to wear high heels all the time and she's been doing all this crazy traveling. I can't imagine what would happen if she was like, well, I got arrested in Greece for wearing my pumps.
Is this going to affect my nursing license?
Yeah. In Japan, no dancing after midnight.
I'm actually going to Japan next year, so that's good to know because, I'm kind of an idiot. So.
Yep. It originated from post-war concerns over social order. That's what they were more worried about. So that's an interesting one.
All right. Well, that's very good to know because then at midnight I'll have to shut her down.
I can't wait to see those videos. No singing in public places in Venice. It's illegal to sing, and if you're caught serenading in the canals, you could face a fine. And they said that it was put in place because of excessive noise disrupting the tranquility of the beauty of the city. Which I guess I can see.
Yeah, especially if everybody operating one of those gondolas is trying to woo people in and sing, and you're just constantly hearing that.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that law doesn't apply to fairways.
Yeah. It's so good. No roller skating on sidewalks in pedestrian zones in Paris. They want you to do your sightseeing by walking or scooter. They're cool with scooters.
From what I heard about Paris when my wife went, is it smells like urine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have no urge to go there.
I haven't been there.
She said the architecture is beautiful, the people are rude, and it smells like urine.
Huh. Interesting.
Probably not going to hit number 1 in Paris after this.
Oh, no. Well, we are in 3 countries
Yeah.
so far. But we'll see what happens. It's illegal to charge an electric vehicle during peak hours in Germany. So you cannot charge it between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. to avoid overloading the power grid.
I mean, at least that's logical.
Yep.
It's not an ice cream cone in your back pocket like America does.
Yeah.
That at least makes some sense.
In France, you cannot name a pig Napoleon because they want to keep the historical significance of Napoleon Bonaparte, who was their emperor. They want to keep it still good. They don't want to have a pig named after him.
Yeah, because his reputation is so fantastic.
Nobody said there was logic behind this. And then this one scares me, so I'm going to avoid Bolivia, but you cannot laugh in public places. It's an old law that bans laughing in public places after 10 p.m. It was put in place to keep the peace and avoid disrupting the neighbors.
Good Lord, the people in Bolivia must laugh real hard.
Yeah.
I mean, they do got a little go-go powder, so...
Yeah. I think that I'd probably be screwed.
Yeah.
Ooh, I was fascinated by this one. In Switzerland, you can't flush the toilet after 10 p.m. if you live in an apartment. I get they don't want like the noise and stuff, but how does that logistically even work? If it's yellow, let it mellow, fine. But what happens if you have a burrito emergency or something?
Yeah.
Do you just go somewhere else, or do you let that puppy simmer all night?
Oh, I'd risk it. I'd just flush it. I'd risk the ticket. There's no way I'm letting that marinate. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I have no idea what you would do.
Yeah, that's...
Because sometimes you just can't help it.
Yeah, and you're not going to let it sit in there and... Ew.
Yeah.
That's just disgusting.
I'm not sure exactly what the logistics are of that and how big these apartment complexes are. But I feel like there must be some sort of a backup plan.
I'd go down... I would run downstairs, knock on the downstairs neighbor's door. Marge, I'm sorry, but I just really dropped the deuce, and I can't have it, so here's some cookies, and I'm going to go flush the toilet. Please don't call the cops.
Yeah.
That's your out. That's what you got to do, I guess.
That's absolutely brilliant, Dennis. Just, you know what? Here's a picture of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave this all night.
I brought you a snack.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to make some noise here.
Yeah.
But honestly, if the flushing is the problem, what about the grunting and the screaming when you got that out? Like, nobody cares about that, but that flushing sound.
Montezuma's revenge.
Yeah.
Ooh, in Singapore, chewing gum is banned in public unless it's medicinal. Apparently they were having a problem with a lot of people spitting gum everywhere.
Ew.
So they banned it.
What is medicinal gum? Is that like Nicorette? Like
Might be, yeah.
I don't know any other type of medicinal
I wonder
gum.
if any of these people that live in Singapore, when they go to Seattle and they see that gum wall, I wonder what they do.
Clutch their pearls.
Yeah.
Like die. This is what we fought for.
Yeah. In Venice, you can't feed the pigeons. It's illegal to do that. Interesting.
They have a law in Duluth where you're not supposed to feed the seagulls in Canal Park because they get so aggressive. So, I mean, I can see why,
Yeah,
but...
it's probably that.
Yeah.
Australia, it's illegal to disrupt a wedding or a funeral. They'll put you in jail for it.
But what if the priest asks if anybody objects? You're technically...
That's bait, Dennis.
Yeah, you're getting...
They're baiting you.
You're getting... What do they call that?
Entrapment.
Yeah, that's entrapment.
What else we got here? Oh, Thailand. You cannot step on money. It disrespects the king.
Strippers everywhere are dying.
Oh, no.
They're dancing around the floor like they're doing just avoiding dollars.
This one I'm curious your take on. In the UK, it's illegal to handle salmon in a suspicious circumstance. What do you suppose would be a suspicious circumstance handling salmon, Dennis?
Well, I would probably say that they're holding it in a certain direction with its mouth facing them. That would be a suspicious circumstance to handle a salmon.
Well, I'm glad that law exists then, because I cannot imagine getting that salmon after an incident like that.
Yeah, no, that would be a whole...
I'm not sure, but does this salmon taste salty to you?
It's a little extra.
Yeah, something's weird with this salmon. And then Denmark, I'm really curious what happened here. You must check under your car for sleeping children before you start it. Like, are a lot of random kids everywhere in Denmark?
Bunch of kids with narcolepsy just out playing.
Yeah, what the heck?
Out.
What the heck is going on? I'm really confused why we made that a law. There must be a problem.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Or a lot of kids who are like, I just really like sleeping under Fords, and they just slide under there, and
Yeah.
I don't know, that's weird.
Sleeping under Fords.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's good. Well, Stuart, everybody's favorite friend, Stu. He wanted to know, when we were looking up these weird laws, why we can't sell or buy cars on Sundays. So I kind of looked into that. And it's because of these things called blue laws, which were old regulations originally intended to promote religious observation, which makes complete sense. And they wanted to limit certain activities on Sundays, like alcohol sales, work, or shopping. So that's where the car sales came in. And there's just some states that haven't let it go, including Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Minnesota, Missouri, and a few others. I didn't know that. I just knew you couldn't buy them.
Yeah, I knew it was religious related, mainly because growing up, liquor stores when I was younger were not open on Sunday. And it was just something that was kind of well known. You couldn't buy it at a gas station. You couldn't buy any liquor anywhere. I knew you couldn't buy a car. Motorcycle stores, surprisingly, are open, but they're not allowed to sell a motorcycle, but they can sell like the
merchandise and
merchandise and equipment. You can buy a helmet, you can buy gloves, but you can't buy a motorcycle itself. So apparently buying the vehicle is a sin, but buying everything around the vehicle is fine.
Huh.
I don't know.
It's interesting.
Yep.
I think the only thing I'll say about it that is a blessing is that it's nice to know that you have one safe day that you can go roam the lot and not have someone up your hind end wanting to know, what are you looking for?
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
What can I put you in?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's nice to not have that type of pressure, but it also can be a struggle if you're like, okay, whoops, I didn't know this sale was ending and I've got no more days. What do I do? You know?
Yeah. I will say, if you ever drive down like Madison Avenue and you look at the car lots on Sunday, you see a bunch of older guys walking around. They're doing exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
Avoiding salespeople.
Yep. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think that does me in sometimes, but people will come up, all want to know, oh, what are you looking for? You know what? I'll let you know if I need help.
Yeah.
I'm just browsing.
It annoys the hell out of me. I can't stand it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and sometimes, depending on what it is, I'm like, listen, because maybe I'll be in the bourbon section or something. Son, I know you don't know what I know. Just
What do you mean, ma'am?
Yeah.
I've been here 3 whole weeks.
Yeah. Move along.
Yeah.
Move along, Jimmy. I'm aware of what's going on here. I know I may be a woman, but I've got my shit together.
I've drank more of this than you weigh, son.
It's funny because they say when all those memes will say a guy over 40 gets either really into World War II, bourbon, or barbecuing. And I laugh because I'm into all three.
Same.
I mean, I'm not a dude, but I mean, I might as well, I guess, be a dude.
Yeah.
But I love all that stuff. So I'm like, Jimmy, you don't know.
Yeah.
You're just working your way through college, which is great. I'm happy that you're here. But I'll come to you and pay when I know what I want.
But have you tried this Jack Daniels?
Yeah.
I've heard it's real good.
Yeah.
It's not bad mixed with Coke, son.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, here's this. Here's some Peerless. Now you're going to learn.
Yeah. Here's some Peerless, buddy.
Meanwhile, you walk to the register, pay for it, crack it open, and pour him a glass. Be like, now try it.
Yeah.
That would be the way you would deal with that.
Give you some hair on your chest,
Yeah.
boy.
A little fuzz on your peaches.
Yep. That is so great.
The only thing else that I can think about is I had read somewhere that I don't remember the exact number, but I think it's anything over 12 bottles of liquor. If you drive that through Indiana, you're technically bootlegging. So I think I'm sitting across from a technical bootlegger.
Well, there's two people in the car, so would that help?
I don't know. Maybe you're both bootleggers. I don't know, but it says it's 12 bottles, so maybe you could split it between the two and you'd be good.
Well, maybe we'll put this out after the Peerless episode, and after people hear that story, they'll know why it's worth risking it.
Oh yeah, definitely worth the risk.
Yeah, we should actually pour up a little Peerless and just finish it with that.
Let's do it. I'm down with that. And by the way, I'm going to start calling you and Jackie Smokey and the Bandit.
I love it. This is brown sugar and citrus.
Oh, yum.
It's one of the ones I described. Oh, let me clear your glass.
Oh.
We don't want it to be tainted.
Tainted.
Tainted love.
It's kind of a weird song, actually. Oh, that is good. That is really good.
I described this one as old-fashioned in a glass.
Yeah.
Even though it's not. It's just straight whiskey.
But it has that hint, that flavor.
Yep.
Yeah, that's trouble is what that is. What's that proof?
107.2.
Yeah, that's troublesome. That's that could get you in trouble real fast.
Well, good thing in our research we didn't find a law against Peerless bourbon because it's the best.
There should never be a law about hanging out with a good friend and having a drink.
Mm-hmm. I agree, Dennis. Even if I'm sitting in a squeaky chair.
Yeah, the day they make that law is the day I will become lawless.
I think that's a wonderful pour, and I had fun hanging out with you, Dennis, talking about weird laws. So I feel like we can put a wrap on it. Another episode of Dippy Does It All. Huge thanks to my guest, Dennis, for diving into the wonderfully bizarre world of weird laws. From the no ice cream in back pockets rule to whatever madness is going on with fish and fireworks. If you're now questioning everything you thought you knew about legality, you're not alone. Don't try any of these at home or in Alabama. If you like this episode, hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and tell your weirdest friend about it. You can follow the show on Instagram at Dippy_does. And if you've got a strange law from your hometown, I want to hear it. Until next time, stay curious, stay weird, and remember, Dippy does it all, so you don't have to. Catch you next time.